is a pervasive, heavy anxiety in the air right now. As we watch the global conflicts continually escalate and unfold, we reflexively look toward international agencies, like the United Nations, hoping these massive institutions have the weight to stem the tide. But those pronouncements are increasingly viewed as meaningless gestures. The UN's declarations are no longer respected by its most powerful members, making its influence feel like a relic of a different era. This isn't a new phenomenon. We are watching the same slide into oblivion that claimed the League of Nations a century ago, a slow, visible collapse of the mechanisms designed to keep us from the brink. Even when truces are enforced, they are rarely driven by humanity. They are strategic pauses. Leaders use these tables not to heal the world, but to divvy it up into colonies, ensuring that the wolves do not turn on each other, but stay focused on the prey. If these institutions are failing, it's because the collision course we're on is fueled by a rot but sits much deeper than modern politics. History shows that when the masses successfully overthrow their oppressors, the new crop of leaders invariably displays the exact same traits. This happened even among the successors to the apostles. These new leaders are drawn from the same masses who were manipulated by the previous regime, suggesting that the number of truly innocent people is minuscule, rendering the actual statistical probability of a clean government near zero. We struggle to clearly solve these problems because we are confusing two very different things, the world and the earth. The world exists primarily in our heads. It is a fabricated psychological construct made of perceptions, borders, and ideological manipulation. While it's real to the person perceiving it, it is ultimately a human invention. The earth is the physical reality. It is a biological and spiritual system that exists regardless of what we believe about it, and it is governed by forces that do not answer to human leaders. Today, our actions are driven entirely by our perceptions of the world, but those actions are pushing the physical earth to the edge of extinction. These perceptions drive our actions with absolute certainty, yet they blind us to our interconnectedness. We treat the planet as a backdrop for our ideological games, ignoring the reality that we are part of a single interdependent body. Because world leaders are blinded by their own goals, appealing to their conscience or decency is unlikely to yield results. They are operating on a script that has no room for humanity. If human intervention fails, the laws of creation take over. These are the immutable rules of the Earth's owner. These laws support variety and growth, but they are designed to automatically eliminate anything that causes disruption. And by any measure of these laws, mankind has become an undeniably disruptive force in the mechanism of creation. In this cosmic equation, humanity is no longer the master of the planet. We have become the disposable element. If our activity threatens the survival of the Earth itself, the system will move to discard the source of the disruption. When the laws of creation move into effect to correct a disruption, the consequence is a complete spiritual recycling. This is the ultimate cost of non-compliance with the way the universe actually functions. For those who are too far gone to be rescued, the mechanism is a spiritual disintegration funnel. The consciousness they have gained or developed over lifetimes begins to unravel. Think of it like falling into a black hole. There is a point of no return where the existing structure of the human spirit is obliterated. It doesn't just die, it ceases to exist as a conscious entity. The spirit is reduced to its basic elements, reverting to formless, primeval energy. Whatever personality or awareness was there is wiped clean, leaving only the raw energy to be used in some other form. This is the most serious consequence possible, the absolute erasure of an individual's consciousness from the fabric of creation. To us, this cycle of human conflict feels interminable, a long, exhausting repetition of the same mistakes. But that is only because we are measuring time on a human scale. Zooming out to a spiritual perspective, the units of measurement change. A single spiritual age is equivalent to 360,000 Earth years. On this cosmic clock, our history of disruptive activity is merely a microscopic blip in the scheme of things. This is the reality behind the ancient prophecy that with the Lord, 1,000 years are like a day. It is a reminder that the universe is not slow to react. We are simply looking at a much smaller clock. From this vantage point, the laws of creation are not waiting for us to fix ourselves. They are already dispelling the disruption with incredible speed. Since diplomacy has failed and the leaders are deaf to appeals of conscience, the momentum of our conflict appears locked. If the machinery of war is now too powerful for words to stop, the only thing that can prevent the onslaught is a mighty and simultaneous catastrophe, a force that completely debilitates the nations gearing up for war. Such massive destruction serves a purpose, thoroughly cleansing the earth so survivors do not carry the traits that have plagued us for millennia. It is a forced restart for a world that refuses to change its course. For those who consider themselves spiritually awakened, the path isn't to stop this process. Most lack the inner force, the faith that moves mountains, to alter such a massive trajectory. The goal now is simpler and harder. Hold on to your faith during the coming turbulence. Do not allow yourself to be swept away by the misinformation and panic of the masses. Survival in this cosmic reset requires letting go of the world built in our heads, aligning ourselves with the reality of the earth. If we cannot sync with the laws of creation, we are recycled along with the disruption.